Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Last I looked at my clock, it was about 8:30, and I looked out the bedroom window and I saw the bird feeder on the ground, and I thought, I'll go outside and I'll fix the bird feeder. I got a half an hour. I went up and made my coffee and doubled a little bit and stepped outside and looked at my clock, and it was 1 minute to 9. Where'd my half hour go? Missing time. I must have been abducted by aliens or something. So, good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late, but that's okay. It's a slow Sunday morning. So how's everybody today? Hey, Susie Q, good to see you. Master Finn, good to see you, brother. And Doug Stack, Grumpy Stack, sorry. I forgot you legally changed your first name. And we got Matthew Sainsbury over there, and it's already an hour later there in Barbados. Good morning.
Look at this.
I started my show, you know.
Yeah, I do.
So you want to show me a video?
Yes, just watch.
I'm watching. Dance with me, be a real ghost. That looks like you. Is it you? What do you want me to see? Just the whole thing that he's dancing with the fake ghost?
You're not funny.
I'm not funny. So good morning. Family time. Roger Rabbit. Yeah, those naughty squirrels always knocking down the bird feeders. You know what I think it was? It was the snow this year. And the snow's all gone now, which is nice. It's nice outside. It's sweater weather outside. And I just saw we had one bird feeder is on a pole with a big hook on it, and it was laying on the ground. So I thought, I should go fix that. No, I never got to it. So I'm wearing a robe and has crazy hair. He's turning into Albert Einstein. This is fixed hair. I got product in it, Grumpy. And this is a sweater with a zipper. Zipper over my zipper. So there you go. All right. There, I put you in your place. Hope you're all doing well this morning, says Matt Finn. The wind this winter was intense. Lost several trees and an outdoor stuff here. Wow. In Michigan. So what, you got that lake effect thing going on. So I'm not sure if Raini will join us today. She said she will try when she gets up. It was a long day yesterday. Yesterday we had a full day from like 6:30 in the morning on, and quieted down a bit. We had some friends over, and the kids all have friends over for sleepovers tonight. And so we've got like 10 kids in our house right now. For as quiet as it is, you wouldn't even know that. So, that's everybody. Everybody's just saying good morning to everybody. That's good. That's nice to see. Hey, Romeldian. Good to see you this morning. I know Field Guy was here earlier. I don't know how early, though. I saw a post of his that may have fallen off the... when you post before the show comes on, I don't think it picks up any posts before 10 minutes before the show. So I got the cat yowling and wants to be fed. He always wants to be fed, though. You feed him at 7 in the morning. At 9, he's asking for food again. And I've got him on a limited diet because he's so big and fat. He's less fat now than he was. I was saying this a year ago. I had him on a limited diet. So what he'll do, he'll lurk around the house at night. And if the kids left a bowl with some food in it, he'll be into that. If the dog still has dog food in her dish, he'll get into that. And it's like he eats all the time. So that's why he's fat. So you lost about 25 huge oak trees, Roger Rabbit. Ash trees and cherry trees. Wow. That sounds like almost tornado weather in the winter. Yeah, we just got, you know how it is when the snow melts. If you're from a snowy part of the country, everything is revealed when the snow melts. All the stuff that got left in the yard in the fall, all the stuff that got knocked over in the winter or blew into the yard during the winter. So, that's what our yard looks like right now. Hey, Waylon, good to see you. I saw you at the tournament yesterday. Waylon is Flynn's friend. And I was all day at half the day at the volleyball tournaments for Rowan. And that was fun. It's fun to an extent. I like to watch my daughter play, and I'm glad she gets to play with her team and her friends. And other than that, you bump into some people that you know, and you talk a little bit, and you talk with some of the parents. But for the most part, it seems like half of that time you're sitting watching other kids play that you don't know. You don't know their parents. You don't know what school they're from. And it's like, okay, I got to watch what? You got an hour and 10 minutes till your next match. And then she goes off and runs off with her friends and asks me for money to go get some food. And so you sit watching somebody else's game. And I had a client call during that time. I've got another little book to write for someone that's coming up. And it's not like The Sword and the Clay. It's something very different. I'll tell you about it when I can. That's going to launch this week. And so it's a biography. So I spent a half hour talking to him. That was pretty cool. And Romeldian just came in to say hi. He's got to run. Good to see you, brother. You have a fun day. And other than that, our studio, it's like I've got a circle of protection around my studio. But the rest of this over into Rainey's area, it's all full of my sofa over there is all full of laundry, just heaping mounds of laundry. It's like, how do we have that much stuff from laundry? And so it looks partially separated. If you got kids, you guys know what I'm talking about. When there's not somebody that's just sitting here that's specifically the laundress or the launderer in the house, the pile say, hey, kids, go get your clothes out of the laundry, fold them up, put them away, hang them up on hangers. It sits there. Mostly because we don't govern it that closely, and so you get a big mound on the sofa, Matt Finn says his little boy's birthday was just this last week. Happy birthday. Can't remember what your little boy's name is, Matt Finn, but happy birthday to him. It's auspicious. It's his first birthday, isn't it? Or is it his second? I thought he was really tiny yet. Maybe I've lost track of time. So I feel tired. My body feels tired today. My face feels tired today. Rainy more so. And she was running too. And it's kind of funny, after I did the late night, the coast to coast interview, 2 to 4 a.m. You go to bed about 5 a.m. and I screwed up my body clock. And so all day Friday was kind of and then Saturday comes and you think you caught up on your sleep and you really didn't. And sitting on bleachers, school bleachers in a gymnasium all day, wreaked its havoc on my back. And I kept trying to sit straight, because you can slouch on a bleacher. Yeah. You lost 34 years, not 34 minutes. Ain't that the truth, Grumpy? So how goes the tire business down there? How you been doing this last week? Here, I'm going to throw an invite if anybody wants to call in this morning and contribute, because I got nothing major to talk about this morning. Although major things going on all around us. The world keeps going on. The world is not dull. Maybe our interaction with the world is dull these days. Hey, David Ewing, greetings from sunny North Carolina. And if you look here from sunny North Carolina, there is sunny Wisconsin coming in through my window. Wow, my computer's been all shifted around. Hang on. The kids get on here and they move things. Well, there's my window. You can't really see it. We've tried this before. It won't focus on the window, the lighting. Other than there, it's sunny Wisconsin this morning. And we've got it's got to be about 50 degrees outside already, which is nice. It's a nice change from 10 below zero. So good to see you, David Ewing. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. If I have, forgive my not remembering. So I'm glad you're here. My daughters live in North Carolina. My older kids, they are in Charlotte, David. So they've got a business there. My son-in-law has a business there in Charlotte. Where are you from? Well, you from the Charlotte area or somewhere else in North Carolina? Just curious. And so if anybody wants to call in, if you've got some great Sunday morning fare on the tip of your tongue, falling off the tip of your tongue, spilling out of your brain, you can give me a shout. I posted the link. I think I did. Yep, it's up there. Here, we'll post it again just in case. So, not that I can't come up with things to talk about on a Sunday morning, but we have no format this morning. I could do, when I started the Sunday morning show, we were doing tarot readings and we would get all esoteric. Sunday is esoteric day. Hi, Ma. Hi, Raini.
Hi, don't keep eyeing me. God damn it.
Hi.
Fuck off.
Hi. Hi. Beautiful. She's up. She's walking around.
That was up for you.
Yay.
I only went back in there because she woke up and then needed to cuddle.
Well, I was up at 5:30 and then I was up at 8:30. So.
You were, huh? Well, I was awake before.
Yeah. Yeah, you were awake. I saw you. So.
Someone in the bathroom?
I don't know. Or the door's shut. Nobody's in there. The cat. Oh, somebody closed the cat in there. So.
No, fatty, you're not going in there.
I don't know if you heard my wife's lovely string of expletives just now, but that's her good morning call to us all. Well, I listened to you. I said hi. I just didn't hear you say hi back. Jeez. Hey, Elderberry. Good to see you. Nice to have you. Anton Dabbs. Andy Dabbs is here this morning, folks. How you doing, Andy? It's a very informal Sunday with no real topic. So Andy is here this morning. He's my good friend from up north here. He is a friend of mine who I've mentioned him before. I wanted to get him on this show to talk about his life and talk about what he's done. But he was just a regular old guy mechanic when I met him. And just like all the rest of us, struggling to find a way and make his way. And he seemed to be, from all surface things, to be somebody who, when I met him, 20 years ago, maybe now, just kind of living in a small house in Minneapolis and trying to find ways to make ends meet. And he started his business, Lemon Squad, which he started I don't even remember how long ago. It's got to be 15 more years ago, from his house. And he would start doing, if you go out and buy a car and you see an ad from somebody, that's selling their car and you can go take a look at it. And what he started doing was used car inspections. and would charge X number of dollars, under $100, I think he started with. And then he spread that out, and he started hiring mechanics that were outside of the city for other towns. And from his house, and dare I say from a back bedroom in his house, he launched a big website and worked up to that and spread that business out. So nationwide, any city you lived in, you could call into his 800 number at his website and have a mechanic sent out. If he didn't know a mechanic there, he would find one and send him out to do an inspection for your used car. And he spread that into, I think he went into Canada and Alaska. I don't know if you did Alaska or not, Andy, if you're still sitting there. Good morning, he says. And he went all over, and he sold that business off about 8 years or so ago, and then bought it back because the people who bought it ran it into the ground. He bought it back, and he just sold that again a couple of summers ago, and he's doing all right. He is a what you might call a rags to riches story. And so that's Andy Dabbs, who's there. Alaska as well, he says. And I think you still do consulting for the people who bought, correct? I'm not sure. Consulting, or you still have to work for the company under contract for a while, and because he's the one who brought it to the point where it is. So there he is. There's your remember Steve Martin's The Jerk? That movie? I grew up a poor black boy in the South. So, so politically non-correct today, but what a great, funny movie. And so Matt Finn said, here, I got to blow this up. Otherwise, I got to put on my glasses. Always a great idea to have a mechanic check out anything on you're going to buy used. I've seen a lot of tomfoolery in the used car business, says Matt Finn. Matt, you should get to know Andy. You can see, I don't know if Andy, you can see Matt Finn's car right there, but Matt Finn does some pretty interesting stuff with his cars too. And so that's my friend Andy. And he's the one who will have me come up to his place. You know, the last couple of years, Rainey and I, we took the kids up there. He bought an old family cabin of theirs up on a lake. He actually lives, you guys know Sarah Soderlin, Psychic Sarah, Paranormal Sarah. So happens she lives on the same road, and I'm not talking miles apart. They're like around the dirt road around the same lake from each other, up there in Pequot Lakes, Minnesota, and up in the North Woods almost. And so Andy had an old family cabin up there, and he bought that out, and he totally refurbished it. And it sits on a point out on the lake. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And he does. Andy is this guy. I've always looked at Andy. He was somebody who is a where we are. Our decoration style, as you can see by my studio here, is clutter, cluttered decoration, so to speak. And the kids add to that their own version of clutter, which we don't like. But Andy is kind of a simplistic in his decoration style. They're very clean and neat lines, but he's got the smart house with all everything's top notch. So you go up to his place and you're like, oh, wow, this is cool. And so I like his place up there. And so what's a reason? A beautiful place. Beautiful place you have there, brother. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I showed some pictures.
Knock it off.
I think I broadcast the dogs down there growling because the cat's after the dog's rawhide.
Yeah, but I don't need him to attack her and then have the cat pee everywhere.
Yeah. Lucy. So the animal's ready to go to war. To bed for. We rise at dawn to go to battle. So the cat and the dog are down there ready to go at each other. The dog protecting her rawhide. Well, the cat's just sitting there like, hey, can I have a sniff of that? So as I said, for those of you coming in late, no particular topic this morning. I got up early enough, but man, I'm just drained today. My face isn't awake yet, and even though I splashed water and I put product in my hair, made coffee and went outside to fix the bird feeder, never got around even to the backyard because I realized it was too late. And Grumpy Stack, my decoration style is once it gets too high in one corner, we move to the next. There you go, Grumpy. Yeah. And I was just saying, if we could get the kids into the mode of wanting to have their house be, this is your house, I tell them, why not enjoy having your house be meticulous? Not meticulous. That's the wrong word. Why not enjoy having your house be clean and picked up and neat, and you like living here? I look at my kids sometimes. I look in my son Flynn's room, and it's like he spends a lot of time in there gaming and stuff. And I'm like, how do you sit in here? Where do you sit? How can you enjoy this? I couldn't enjoy sitting in a room all day gaming, or half a day, or even an hour gaming, and my stuff is all out of place, and there's junk all over, and clothes and piles. That just doesn't work for me. So, and I'm not a neatnik or anything like that. Mike Yahudi, good to see you, brother. Glad you came in. I didn't shout that at the top of my lungs like I usually do. How you doing, brother? Glad to have you in this morning. And I don't know how many people are actually listening versus how many people are actually in the chat room, but welcome to y'all. If you're wandering in a little late, Roger Rabbit is here this morning. It's Masters Sunday, so it's a sacred special day for us golfers. Oh yes, golf. I don't set my alarm by golf for certain. The closest I've gotten to be a golfer is I caddied once when I was 13, and I was done after that. A couple of old fat guys having us young kids carry their junk all over the place. Hand me the 4-iron. It's like I didn't even know what that was. And so I'm not a golfer, not into it. It was never my sport. The sport where you ride around in a little cart while kids carry your bags by foot, and you knock a little ball into a hole, and then you get back into your cart and have a drink and move on to the next hole. So I golf all the time, says Sean Bowden. Good morning, Sean Bowden. Good to have you. And yeah, golf is not my game. But Robin Williams does a great bit on golf, for an old bit, at least 20 years old, on Scotchman following we knocked this rock into this hole. No, you use a fuck, no, you use a stick. So, well worth watching if you get a chance. That's a workout. Yeah, when you walk, when you caddy, the caddy gets more workout than the golfer. I'm sure a golfer would come in and have words with me now. Put him up. As he pulls his white double knit polyester pants up over his low belly bulge and exposes the white patent leather of his golf shoes and his Argyle socks, and then he makes fists at me. And so that's what would happen if a golfer came in to molest my words on golf, or molest me for my molestation of golf, something like that. So it's all words, folks. That's how wars start. It's like if you go back to John Ward and I were going to write about this once. We had a book all proposed and put together, and our publisher thought it was too cerebral for what they wanted to publish. We wanted to publish and I say that lightheartedly. I love my publisher, But the Lost Armies of Cambyses was the book we were going to work on. And that's that story of how Cambyses of Persia, back in 525 BC, sent his fleets over and his armies over and sacked Egypt and killed the royal family. And it was all over an insult over a woman. So not quite the Helen of Troy type of story, but it's an insult nonetheless. And then he mounts an army of 50,000 men to go cross the western desert of Egypt, about 500 miles over to 300 miles over to the oasis at Siwa, where the oracle of Siwa was, and the Ammonites. And en route, according to Herodotus, brush up on your Herodotus, a great sandstorm rises up out of nowhere and engulfs the army, and the army is wiped off the face of the earth, never to be seen again. Cambyses survived with a few stragglers, and he ended up dying because, I remember I mentioned this on this show not long ago, in more of a context. He was dismounting his horse, and his bare sword hanging on his belt cut through his femoral artery, and he bled out in 15 minutes. He was dead. And appropriate for a guy that just killed thousands upon thousands of people over an insult over a woman. So there you go. I'm sure there was more to it. I think the insults over women, like in the Trojan Wars and in Cambyses' raid of Egypt, they were all just excuses to go do something. I wouldn't be surprised if Putin came up and said, he was insulted because somebody said something nasty to him in a letter. It was over a woman. But they used that to do their nasty, dirty deeds. So not so much nowadays, but that's where it starts. Somebody throws a sandal at your head, you throw a rock back, then they drive a truck through your crowd, and then somebody pulls a gun, and then there's sticky bombs, and then all of a sudden you got a war. So, what do you got here? What did I just see here? What'd you say? Barry. Oh, Barry Bro. I saw all those letters without my glasses on, and I could put them on, but I didn't feel like it yet this morning. See, now I can see. Elderberry, you can bleed to death from a nick on your foot. Yeah, you can. And my understanding is if you're diabetic, you could bleed to death even more. Or if you're on blood thinners for your heart and you get cut. So I don't know. I guess I've heard stories of diabetics or people anemic. They clip their toenail too tight, and they get a drop of blood out of it. In 2 days, they're dead from bleeding out. So, not this guy. I don't clip my toenails. I saw. You remember? You all did it when you were little kids. I saw my little girl the other day, just talking to mom, and she's sitting, cross-legged style, and she's got her foot up to her mouth with her big toe in her mouth, chewing on her toenail. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm sucking on my toe. It's like, you do realize you walk around barefoot all the time, inside and outside, even now. It's not super warm yet, but even now she does. So anyway, what do y'all think is going to happen in the 2022 November elections? Do you think that it's going to turn over the House and the Senate? I'm just curious what y'all think. I think it's looking that way. I think the current administration is not doing very well, as we all know. And I'm saying this as politely and non-political as possible. But when that happens, what really happens to our government? It just shifts into a different political mindset. Do you think Biden's going to run again? I know he said after he was elected, he's definitely going to go for a second term. You think he'll make it for a second term? Just curious what y'all think. Let's see. Knots over Western influences, including Soros, Rosemont, Seneca, Metabiota, and the Bribin family, antagonizing Russia since the fall of the USSR and the establishment of the Ukrainian oligarchs. There it is. So it's not over a woman. So, well, that's good to know. and that's my seasoned, well-researched, what's the word I'm even looking for? You can tell I'm prepared for that topic with my seasoned, well-researched information. There you go. So Elderberry says, I think Pelosi, no, that's Grumpy Stack, is a toe sucker, but not her own. That's just mean, Doug Stack. What's that got to do with politics? Elderberry. What did I keep going for Elderberry's comment? Oh yeah, weed will get legalized. I got no problem with weed being legalized. Isn't it a natural thing? It's a natural herb that God put on the planet. Shouldn't we be able to roll it up, dry it up, and smoke it if we wanted to? I'm not sure why certain things became illegal and certain things didn't. Distilled alcohol is more man-made than weed. Yet you can buy distilled alcohol at the drugstore or the grocery store. And that has been the cause of more death than anything else. I haven't seen anybody. Now, perhaps my knowledge is limited on this. Rainey, maybe you know. How many mass murders have taken place because somebody was high on weed? Probably none. How many people have been killed driving because they're smoking weed?
Not as many as people that drink alcohol.
Not as many as people who drink alcohol. Now, I got nothing against alcohol. As a matter of fact, if Steve Clark is in the room, I haven't seen him yet. We just got this package from Steve Clark. We have not opened it yet. We want to do a box opening. You know what's in here? Steve Clark's blueberry moonshine. Right there. And Andy, if you're still listening, if you make it over here this week, which I'm hoping you will, we will break into some of that and try some moonshine. So blueberry moonshine. Roger Rabbit is making a batch of butter today. Are you out churning butter today? It's not a euphemism, is it? And I was out churning butter. I was gifted a quart mason jar full of decarbed greenery. Now, literally, are you putting that into butter? Interesting. Or is that a euphemism? Is that a I don't know all the weeds stoner bacon butter. Is that stoner lingo that I don't know of? Nope, Rainey says. Rainey, my seasoned stoner over there. Well, she grew up around it. Coffee. Let's see. Grumpy Stack says weed became illegal because it's a cure. It's a cure most. The pharmaceutical companies lobbied to make it illegal. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me that the pharmaceutical companies would be against weed because of its medicinal purposes, I guess. Scott Allen said, "You've never heard of cooking with weed butter?" Not with weed butter. I've heard of cooking weed into things. Is that how you do it? You mix it into the butter?
DJ used to make butter at our house.
Oh, DJ. See, now you said you didn't know anything about the butter. I guess.
I know about the butter, but I didn't know whatever the weird thing that you said.
Making butter.
Churning butter.
Out of weed.
Everybody churns butter if you want it, but DJ makes butter.
So her brother makes weed butter and bakes with it. So, Let's see. Yeah, marijuana, says Matthew Sainsbury, is growing legal gradually. Well, it used to be legal, and then they illegalized it. I think the lobbyists against it, much like was it Doug Stack who just said that, is because it's better than pharmaceuticals, and the pharmaceutical companies don't like that. So it was called hemp. Well, yes, the hemp is everywhere, Matthew. You can buy hemp is legal to a certain extent here. You can get hemp rope. You can get hemp clothes made out of hemp. Hemp in hand lotion. Hemp toothpaste. It's supposed to be THC free, though. You can't get high off your hemp toothpaste. But so, yeah, the hemp industry is huge. Still is. Could be bigger. But I think it's a waste of governmental money to wage a war on hemp or a war on cannabis, a war on weed. I think that's a waste. So, well, think of all the millions of people that are affected by the cartels and weed. I don't know. The cartels control weed, or are they more the cocaine type? That's a good question, huh? So, I think weed, you got cigarettes out there, for Pete's sake. If you've smoked at all in your life, and there are days where you can take a cigarette and take a deep drag of a cigarette and you go lightheaded. Not the same as being high, I suppose, but I don't know. There's a lot of states here in the United States that have legalized THC, I guess, would be more than just weed itself. You can go to Colorado to your weed shops. Morgan Snow uses CBD oil for my AR. Your AR-15, keep your gun oiled up with CBD oil. AR, arthritis, something like that. I was given a couple of drops of some CBD oil. I know it's a treatment, and you got to use it more than once for it to really start kicking in. But somebody gave me some once, and it worked very well. Cartels know there's not much money in weed anymore. Mostly fentanyl, coke, and meth from them now. There you go, Matthew Finn. Thank you, Matthew Finn. And what can we do to make this show more interesting this morning? Or is everybody just hanging? We're hanging to hang. Because I got nothing interesting to talk about today. I'm just babbling at the mouth, blethering at the lips. Well, hey, good morning.
Hi.
You look so much better than you did last night when you came over here. She was so tired, her eyes were just red. Both of them down.
That was from the sun.
That was from the sun?
You still don't look good. Look at her face.
Let's see. Let me see your face. It looks beautiful. So how are you this morning? You got a little cough? That's from running around without jackets on when it's cool outside. Anyway, let's see. I heard they made weed cookies, says Matthew Sainsbury. Yeah, they were making weed cookies when I was in grade school. That's a pretty common thing. You can get weed baked into all kinds of stuff. So, what else? Sanitize that mic. I took a direct hit, or it took a direct hit. Yeah, my daughter coughing into my microphone. So, at least it wasn't into my. There it is again. Yeah, we're gonna have to wipe down my microphone. You're coughing right into my mic. It's a good thing I don't get up close to that thing. Oh, we got callers. We got Doug and Doug. It's two of you calling in, Doug. What's going on with that? Maybe your connection is not working, or my connection's not working. Let's see if we can add you to the stream. Doug, are you there? Calling in Doug. Red Dog 1 to Red Dog Squadron. Grumpy Stack. I think I can hear you, but I can't see you. Nothing. We got nothing, Doug. So I'm going to remove you from the, kick you from the studio, and you'll have to try again. Something about your camera wasn't linking up, or your mic, but I thought I heard a click. So what else does anybody else have to talk about this morning? I need to get some coffee, more coffee. I'm almost out, and my coffee's getting cool at the bottom here. You gonna make it over there? I can feel, you know how you know when you're really going light on the top of your head with your hair? Your little kid puts their cold hand on top of your head, and you can feel cold fingers on your scalp. I'm talking about back here. It's like, oh, man, it's like cold fingers on skin back there.
Yeah, because you have a bald spot.
I do. It's huge. It's like in the shape of Croatia or something. It's really weird. There's Doug Stack. Let's put him on. Stop messing with my hair.
How's it going?
Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
Good. What's going on down in Louisiana this morning?
It's a bit chilly. I think it's 60 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Go F yourself. Actually, we got up to 50, 55 yesterday, and everybody in the neighborhood was like out on their driveways, sitting in chairs, and we had all kinds of people stopping by yesterday because we were outside, and so it was nice. But
yeah, I just wanted to drop in. I'm officially down 201 pounds today.
I saw that post. Doug Stack is down don't mess with the microphone, please. Is down 201 pounds since he started this. Oh, I see what you were doing. So one of my bands on here is loose. I got to rehook it. There you go. Helps hold the mic in place. That's a big congratulations, Doug. There are many people that don't even weigh 201 pounds. So you've lost more than a person. Okay, I'm going to have you get down, child. Well, I'll take the hug. So there you go. My child does not know how to sit still ever. She'll get up on my lap and it's just all over the place. It's like, can you sit still?
Even my 17-year-old doesn't sit still.
Yeah.
But I was laughing at her this morning because she woke up looking like I guess the world ended.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Oh, I gotta go to work soon."
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you hate those jobs? I remember those days. I hated those jobs where you had to. I got to go punch a clock at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, or because you got the weird hour shift. And
well, she's got the split shift. It's like 11 to 2, and then 5 to close. She works at she's a hostess at a Mexican restaurant over here.
Oh, nice.
So she works with a bunch of her friends, and the owner is he's a pretty nice guy. I get along with him. And
yeah,
her boyfriend's in town and leaving this afternoon, so she's like, oh.
Yeah. Split shifts. My mom was a waitress when I was a kid, and she'd work split shifts all the time. And I was like, I kind of grew up with well, what good are split shifts to the person who has to work them? You get to get up and go to work early, and then you get to go home for lunch and hang for a couple hours and not really have any much significant time to get anything really done. And then you got to go back and work into the night. And it's like, screw that.
This is her senior year, so she's pretty much doing that at work and at school, because she has to go to school for the first hour. She has a class at the first hour. Then she can go home, and then she has to go back to school for the last hour.
Yeah. Well, at least she's got a schedule at school that will accommodate that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and it's getting ready time. You know, I just put the deposit down for her housing
Nice.
for college next year or in the
Yeah,
summer.
yeah.
You say nice, it's not nice. It's a lot of money.
Well, nice that you, Dad, are doing that for her.
I
So
told her I'm gonna try as hard as I can, you know, get as much of it paid off. If she can pay some of it off, you know, while she's there, I'm gonna keep a track of it
sure.
and you know, help her out a lot as much as I can.
I heard
So
some financial guy back when I lived in Detroit. I heard him on the radio. So this is, you're talking back in the early 90s, but somebody was asking him a question, you know, one of those financial shows on radio where you're going through talk radio, you go, oh, I found a cool talk radio show, and you find out they're talking about real estate. And you're like, oh, okay, that's not what I wanted to hear. But he was a guy and he had a voice kind of like this, and he'd call everybody Tiger. Hey, Tiger. And he goes, no, my big answer to paying for you're asking me a question about setting up an account to send your kids to college. He says, you invest that money in other places or spend it. He says, kids should pay for their own college. Now, that was his philosophy as a financial advisor. He said, if you want your kids to appreciate their college, they pay for it. But of course, we know what it's like nowadays. It's really tough to do. And
fucking it's gonna cost about $10,000 per semester to go
per
to school.
semester.
Per
Yeah.
semester. Now she's
Yep.
gonna get a little bit of help because I think she's ranked 10 in number 10 in her class. So she
Yeah.
has the opportunity to get scholarships. And Louisiana has a good thing where they do tops. Tops, it helps pay off the tuition
Yep.
each
Yep.
as long as you score a 20 or higher on the ACTs, they give you a portion of the
Oh, that's cool.
so it helps out. It also helps out that my daughter and her boyfriend, I don't want to think about it, but my daughter and her boyfriend, they both save money a lot better than we do.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I was
But
never a good saver to begin with, and then
no.
never had enough to really save. You'd start
Well,
a savings account and go,
the thing is with me, I'm usually a decent saver, but
mm-hmm.
with my business and my wife has a business as well, and it's like we're both starting it off, and it's real hard. Like, you
Yeah.
know, I need inventory, I need this, I need that, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it comes out of my own personal stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's like Raini when she does the tumblers and the different things that she does. It's like, yay, I just made $500 today, but $475 has to go into supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to keep reinvesting in your business to make sure you got enough to go. And
Well,
eventually, the plan is that you make a profit eventually. So
yeah. Well, that's like my wife. One day I came home from work. It was a Friday. She said, "Did you make any money today?" I said, "Yeah, about $50." She's like, "What do you mean $50?" I said, "Well, I did about 1,200 in sales today." I said, "But it all has to go back, you know."
yeah, it all goes back in to pay rent. You got to, you know, whatever, everything that's got to be paid for the business. And
Yep.
that's, you know, that's like it is around here. You know, there's days you get in, you know, oh, I had a $500 day. And you go, well, there's 1/3 of my rent for the month, you know, kind
Yeah.
of things. So you're always looking at that. So
Like I was open yesterday. I was open for 4 hours, and I did $600 in sales, but right off the top, 413 went back
yep,
into the business, and then you know whatever I paid my employee for the
sure.
day. So yeah, I came out ahead yesterday. I didn't come out ahead a lot, but I came out, you know,
Unless you look at the big picture for the month. You
yeah,
go, well, that extra $60 left over, that's going into this for the rest of the month. Yeah, and
exactly.
you know, but the I think despite the frustrations and all of that, and I was talking about my friend Andy Dabbs, who was in earlier. I don't know if he's still hanging out there or not, but Andy is somebody that I'm sure when he first started his business, there was that you'd rather, what's the saying? An entrepreneur would rather work 80 hours, will work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40.
Mm-hmm.
So, meaning I would rather punch my own clock than somebody. I'll work 80 hours for myself before I want to
Exactly.
punch somebody's clock for 40. I hate working. And of course, you always work for somebody else. Even when you're putting a tire on somebody's car, that's working for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a bunch of little bosses as opposed to one big boss. But I would rather work for myself and struggle along and limp along than working for somebody else. And it goes into their business. It goes into, if I quit, they just move on and hire somebody else to fill the spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
So,
that's the biggest thing is you know, not being an entrepreneur, working a regular job, there's
mhm.
some sort of security in, oh, you expect, this amount. And if
Yep.
you work all your hours, you'll get that amount.
Uh-huh.
As being an entrepreneur, you can come out of the day, 5,000 in the hole or
Yep.
10,000 in the red or in the black, whatever
Right.
they call it.
Right.
But
In the black. And, when I charge, people will come to me when I put up little ads and say, I do logo design. You came to me for a logo. And I charged $650 for a logo. And somebody starting their home business might go, oh, $650? I thought it was like $50. It's like, no, it's not $50. I got 40 years experience in this. I've been doing this. And it's $650, or it's this much. One of the big things we have in book illustration, the children's book illustration market out there, there are so many artists or people that want to be artists or people that want to write books that are out there, that if somebody puts out in some of these groups I was on, puts out a call for an illustrator. I'm looking for an illustrator for my children's book. And all these illustrators just whoosh, they're bombarded by, hundreds of people saying, look at my portfolio. And if they like your style, they'll contact you and say, well, how much are you? And, I say, I started $450 per illustration. And when you're doing 12 illustrations in your book, you get the idea. And many times you got to come back and go, because you got some guy over here that works for a Singapore sweatshop that'll do that same illustration for $15 a piece. And you see a lot of horror stories too. Over there, they get 15 American dollars in some of these, a lot of the Far Eastern countries. That's like gold over there. And I made 15 American dollars today. That was like in Egypt when I was there. It was like $1 got you something like 9 Egyptian pounds, and the equivalent. So it was like they got an American dollar. They could go buy 9 Egyptian dollars, so to speak. And so the exchange rate, is affected by that.
yeah.
And but you would get artists that would say, I'll do that job for $15 a piece. And I'm going, I'll do it for $450 a piece. A lot of those who are uneducated about what they get out of that money will go, oh, I'm going with the guy who'll do it for $15. And what do you get for $15? And sometimes there was somebody who put up pictures, illustrations that they paid about $15 a piece for, from one of these places, Fiverr or something like that. And they said, these are the illustrations I got back. And it was her story about lion cubs playing with each other, her characters. And what this person over in the Far East did, because it's pretty staple to do this over there, stolen pictures of Simba from the Lion King, pasted them in and did cheap digital backgrounds and whipped those things out. Here you go. It's like, did you think nobody would notice that that's Simba? That's not your art. But it's a different mentality about it. And so she was just distressed. And I said, well, the good thing is you only lost about $100, And I said, next time you ought to buy it from a legitimate artist who has a legitimate portfolio. It might cost you a little bit more, but what value? I would say to them, what value do you place on your book? I said, do you want art that's done cheaply, or do you want art that's done well? If you're going to invest in the publishing and invest in the kind of paper it gets printed on and the kind of cover it's on, but you don't want to invest in the art that is what draws people to your story. Yeah, so yada yada yada. I could go on and on and on about that. So, but that's the price of doing business. Sometimes, you buy American, it costs more. You can also buy from other countries. People are expensive too. I think somebody who is seasoned in their craft knows what they're doing. It's just going to cost you more money.
Yeah.
So I could change a guy's tire for $2, and a cup of coffee, but am I going to do it right? So
Exactly. That's like the Friday I was there alone. My worker was sick. He was dehydrated and throwing up.
sure.
I was there alone, and I was struggling because
Mhm.
I have to deal with, the office work. I have to deal with the customers. I have to do, and I'm not the greatest tire guy. That's why I got a
Yeah.
good tire guy in there. And I struggled on two clients, the last two clients of the day. It took me 4 hours to get their tires done because they were all-terrain vehicles, and
Ah.
there's a specific way to pop the bead off the rim, and I'm not fluent in the
Sure.
all-terrain vehicles, and man, I busted my knuckles. I looked like a fool. A good thing I know
Yes.
these people and they're gonna come back, but it was still kind of embarrassing.
Right. Right. I get it. I understand it. I got. I was looking at some of the comments here. Scott Allen said I had to find the balance of getting paid to illustrate mixed with the percentage of final sales. Yeah. Um, I don't like to do work for authors at all who say, I'll give you a percentage of the sales. It's like, look, I'm not going to diminish your book. I don't know how well or how bad it will do, but I'm not going to go to work for somebody based on what you think you might make on your book. I may end up making pennies on the dollar. Why should I take a risk in your book? You're hiring me to illustrate your idea. You get out there, Tiger, and sell your book. Market your book. You're the one that's got to put the effort into making that thing sell, not the artist. And so Scott Allen
Scotty,
illustrates books. Yeah,
sorry to cut you off, but I have a phone call.
you
I'll
got to
be
go.
back to the
See
show.
ya.
Bye.
Good to have you call in, brother.
All right,
Congrats.
thank you.
All right, Doug Stack, Grumpy Snack, who has now lost 201 pounds. I think almost since I met him a year ago. So he's done rather well. And pretty soon he's gonna have abs, and all us old fat guys are gonna look at him and he's gonna have worked all that weight off, and he's going to have abs. Well, that's a question for Doug. Beadlock rims, Doug? So, yeah, 201 pounds is a lot of weight. That's a whole person. That's 3 of my children put together. That's my wife and my children put together, almost. So, oops, let's see. Just watch a video. What did that say? Oh, how much it costs in US dollars to live a day in Thailand. It was like $28.
We're fucking moving.
To Thailand?
Yeah,
Yeah. They don't have health care, though.
that's okay.
But if it only takes $28 a day to live, we got plenty of money. I was talking to Rowan yesterday, and this is for you, Rainey, and also for the audience. We were talking about on a long drive yesterday to the tournament and back, What would you wish for? If you found a genie in a bottle and it actually worked and you were granted 3 wishes, what would you wish for? And Rowan's like, from a 10-year-old perspective, oh, a new radio, to play my music. And I'm like, really? That's what you'd wish for from the genie? There was something else like that, like a yogurt. I want a yogurt right now. And or a smoothie. It's like you'd wish for a smoothie? Excuse me. A bubble in my throat. And so I said, that's what you'd wish for? I said, I would wish for, my wishes were these. And I only got through 2. So my first wish would be that my wife, Raini, and I were in absolute perfect health and absolute perfect physical shape. Well, you find a way to word it and combine them.
I wish I had my 25-year-old body.
I wish I had my 25-year-old body. There you go. Then I'd have something better to work with, You can get abs when you're 25. When you're 61, saying I want a six-pack. We all know that all that means is you're going to go get a six-pack of beer. But six-pack of donuts, six-pack of tacos. So that's what a six-pack is at 61. So I was looking at exercise stuff, and they were showing stuff for different age groups, 60 and over, and you can get abs. And it was just it's an exercise a workout thing. It wasn't buy our special pills, our special drugs, and you can, develop a six-pack without even getting up out of your easy chair. That'd be nice if that actually worked. But you got to work for it. So, I saw this thing on doing exercises. So I might try that out, the exercises that they have. And it was free. It was just, here, download our exercises. And I was sitting on a mat and doing, certain things, 15, 20 minutes a day. And we'll tighten up your midsection. So, there's that. I might give that a try, or I might still be talking about it a year from now. So I don't remember where I was going with all of that. But I had something starting out somewhere with that. I saw Scott Allen had said I have the opportunity to jump straight into another book when I'm done with this one, but I was talked out of it by someone who's been doing it a lot longer, Diminishing Returns. Now, Scott Allen, did they tell you, don't take the money? It's not worth making the money? Or was it somebody, the other book, it was a profit-sharing type of thing? That's the thing I avoid. That's probably what you're talking about. I got the opportunity I could jump into 10 books next month if I'd be willing to ask for no cash for the work. And we'll give you credit on the cover. It's like, hey, my kids don't eat credit on the cover. Credit on the cover doesn't pay my bills unless you got a book deal with a publisher that you're going to make, I'll make $100,000 off your book. That ain't worth it to me. Not anymore. That just doesn't work. I'll give you credit. Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. So.
Then that's where you come back and say, okay, well, I need unlimited credit at Walmart.
Yeah.
For my groceries.
Yeah. Why can't I walk into Walmart or Target and say, can I get my cart full of groceries and dry goods today? I don't have any money. I can't pay you, but I'll give you credit for it. I'll put it up on my Facebook page that I got groceries from you. Doesn't work. The artist said what you just said, that you never know how well it will sell. That's exactly it. Yeah, if you agree to do it for that, it's got to be a pretty special project, or from somebody like The Sword and the Clay. When I was asked, could I write and illustrate that book? I said, yeah, but I can't do it for the hopes of future returns. And so what you're doing is, in a sense, you're sacrificing your percentage of holding in that book in order to get paid. It's like with little platinum books. that I started with my friend Pete. He's taken on all the financial. I was doing writing. He did some writing. I was doing all the art. And he said, I said, I really need to be paid on this book because I got to generate some income. And he said, would you rather be paid or get a percentage of the profits at the end? Now, this was a situation I was very close to. And I said, you take the percentages. I said, I just have to make a living. So, I turned that down. And that's that How to Be an Archaeologist book. That's the same way. He's going to own the rights to publishing that book. He's paying me to and of course he doesn't have the money to pay me what I'm worth, but it pays me little bits and pieces. And that's the catch-22 in every situation, no matter what side of that equation you're on. Scott Allen said, I've had to turn down other opportunities to stay on schedule for my current project. Yeah, I've been there before. It's nice. I know some artists who say, I'm booked out for a year. It's like, if you can find an author that's willing to wait a year for you to get to your work, then you're okay. Usually if I do that, here's a secret for you, Scott. If I do that, if I got so booked up, I would say, if you want me to do your work 7 months from now, when I can get to it, when my schedule opens up, you got to put down 50% down, non-refundable. And then I'll jump into your project. And the reason I do that, it was like when I did wedding photography. I could book up every weekend for the summer. I did one summer, and we're talking about way back, like 2005 when I was doing this. I booked up 13 weekends in a row to do weddings. And to book the wedding, and people were booking in the winter for the summer. And I would say, I would send them a copy of my contract, and I'd say, yes, I can do this. Here's what I do for the money I'm charging you. And I said, and I need 50% down, non-refundable, to lock in the date. And I only had a couple of people kind of squabble about that. And I only had one person who canceled their wedding. But they canceled their wedding and a week ahead of time, and they wanted to know if they could. I know you said non-refundable. Can we get the money back? I said, I'm sorry, I can't send that back by contract. I said, I have no way to refill that date a week out from your wedding. And it was a very civil conversation. It wasn't like nasty or anything, but I said, I wish I could. I said, I can't help you out with that. I said, that money's done and gone. I said, that's what locked the date in. And I said, now that you have to withdraw from the date, I said, that's why I have a non-refund policy. I've got a week then and an open date, and I'll lose half of that project as it stands. I said, if I refunded your money, then there's nothing, and I've got an open date I can't fill with something else. So that's why we did that. And you do that sometimes, and that's the business side of this. Part of the reason I chose to do this is, Scott Allen, one is partly because I've always wanted to illustrate a kid's book. And the other part is artistic legacy, something that hopefully will outlast me. Man, I understand that. I'll tell you something. If you want artistic legacy, you could, Scott Allen, this is just a way to do that. Illustrate your book, write it, illustrate it. Do a book of your illustrations, even if you don't have a storyline to it. Publish it on Amazon. And it doesn't cost a penny to publish on Amazon. And you can put that book up there, and maybe you'll only sell 62 copies for the entirety of your life. But after you die, that becomes worth something. There's a legacy. That's just an idea. A legacy is easy to establish. You have, you take your art and have a gallery show. You publish your art in a book on Amazon that costs you nothing at Amazon, and you might even make a few bucks off of it. And there's your legacy, part of the artistic legacy of things. And I've got so much artwork out there in the world over the last 40 years. I don't know if you could gather it all up from all the sources, and but going from logo designs to illustrations for people to books I've done to book dust jackets. Some of that stuff's so out of print. Somebody who's got the time, go to Google and see if you can find old theological books published in the late 1970s and early 80s by James and Clock, Klock, James and Clock Publishing. You'll see some of my book cover designs from when I was in high school. Just ink drawings for dust jackets and stuff. There's legacy there. But, man, Scott Allen says the author's covering the cost of actually having the book physically made. See, that's cool. You can do that too. That's what our publisher, Manitou Free Traders Press, is doing with The Sword and the Clay. They're covering the cost of publishing. And as I told you all, we put up the Kickstarter. It was part of my deal when I was talking to him to fund the book, fund me writing and illustrating the book. We'll put up a Kickstarter too and see what kind of reaction we get to it. And he was still committed to publishing the book, no matter what the outcome of that would be. And so that book is being published as we speak. And I could throw it up on Amazon and people could go buy it over there. The thing is bottom lines. And this is the business side of publishing. If we printed the book, it was going to cost us through a production house about $6 per book to produce. If we go to Amazon, we don't have to pay it up front, but every book you sell costs $11 plus their 60% off the top. So you end up making about $6.39 per book on Amazon. For if you have the money, you got the $6,000 to print 1,000 books up at the publisher by publishing it, going through the production house. You're paying only $6 a piece, and 6 off of 30, you make $24 per book versus $6 per book. Now there's still costs. If we go through a distributor, we got to go 50-50 on the cover price, and so you take off another 50%. And so on, and it gets whittled down and whittled down and whittled down. It seems the creators of books make less money on their books than anybody else along the process. But so there's those costs, and you got to weigh it out. Do we just go to Amazon on a print on demand, and which is easy to do? I could write a story right now and illustrate it and put it up on Amazon, and there's no cost involved in doing it, just my cost and my time of writing and illustrating a book, and you throw it up on Amazon, where it'll either die a slow death because nobody knows it's there other than your small circle of friends or your social media circle, and you hope it catches fire, or you get distributors involved. But then you got to order bulk. The price per book doesn't change on Amazon unless you have to sell like 20,000 books in order for your price to go down. You got to order them all at once. Then your price will go down per unit. But you go to Amazon, it would cost, like $11-12 to buy one of these books on Amazon. So almost half the price of the cover. You go print it at a print shop, it only costs $6. A quarter of the price. Less than a quarter. 1/5 of the price of the retail price of the book. And you got more to work with. So it's interesting stuff. Hey, good morning, Uncle Dave. How you doing? I see how somebody say hi to Dave Potter. How you doing this morning? So anyway, Scott Allen, that's all I'm thinking of. If you're looking at leaving the legacy of your art behind, which is important to all of us as artists. It's like, I create art. I'd give it away for free if I could, but that doesn't pay my bills. The purest art. Oh, you charge for your art. Well, yeah, that's how I make a living. I charge for my art. Artists who don't charge for their art are either, one, independently wealthy, two, they have a sponsor, or what did they call them in the old days? You had a benefactor that says, I love your art, I will pay you to paint. Those are rarer situations to find, but they exist. You can find sometimes wealthy people, rich people, people who will say, I will pay you to paint your pictures. You can also work your job 9 to 5, then come home up and stay up half the night doing your art. So there are ways to accomplish that. That's why I say with my art, I tend to become a commercial artist more than a fine artist. I don't have time to sit and paint for the sake of painting, which is sad, mostly because you can't pay your bills doing that. Unless somebody notices your work, or after a couple of years you do a gallery show and you sell some original paintings, like Hunter Biden, $500,000 for blowing paint through a straw in my nose. If I could do that, I'd be doing that. So, there it is. Dave Potter says, it's hard making a living with your art in this era. It certainly is. So there you go. Benefactor. Yes, that's the original word, says Matthew Sainsbury. Grumpy Stack says you need to charge for your trade. It feels good not to, but feel good doesn't pay the bills. That's right.
And your wife gets pissed when you do free shit.
And your wife gets pissed and withholds sex until you make money. So no, your spouse in that situation either has to work harder because they've got to take up your slack, or sometimes it's like, hey, how long are you going to do work for this guy who doesn't pay you? How many is that logo you're doing for that guy? Is that free? You're giving him that logo? How many of your friends have taken advantage of your free work? That's my wife's thing. I don't do as much now as I used to, but man, I would have friends call me for work, and they, I'm not going to name names. I did a book cover for somebody years ago, and they said, we can't pay you. We don't have any money.
Oh my God.
And they said,
my favorite is when he does free work for people and then they put their stuff on things to sell and make money off of it and still don't pay Scotty. That shit pisses me off.
Oh yeah,
that shit pisses me off. Yeah. I can't pay you for this, but I'd really like your work. Okay, well, cool, thanks. Now I'm gonna sell it, make profit. Ha ha, fucker.
There you go. That's my wife's take. Yeah, and I've had people come and say, we can't afford to pay you, and would you do this for free? Sure. Sometimes for close friends, I'll do that. For my friends, I want to help them out when I know they are in need. You like to help them out. When you see they're doing really well and they ask for help, that's the tough side sometimes. But the story I was telling, I did a book cover for somebody, and they said, my next book, I'll pay you full price. Okay, cool. Let's do it this time. This was years ago. And then their next book came along, and it was the same thing. Can you do a cover? We don't have any money. Would you be willing to do the cover for nothing? And we'll give you credit on the book. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I can't do it this time. Not because I'm being heartless, but because it's how I make a living. So what does Dave say? 2 a.m. I need a logo for, yep, I've done it. But if the gig makes money, then I take care of them. That's what Dave does. Yeah, I did it. Dave, I wasn't talking about you, by the way.
Yeah, we're not talking about you. You're different.
Your family, that's different.
It is in some ways. But not, Dave, your time will come.
Yeah, she'll get you, Uncle Dave. And which side you going for that side? Okay. So
you caught my interest now that we're talking about giving free shit away.
And so my wife or my wife, Uncle Dave, I did a free logo for him, but that's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Dave is part of our family.
Dave stops what he's doing and picks up people for airports, or picks them up from the airport and brings them home. Or...
Yeah, Dave does a lot for us. And
Pop up,
so I
yeah,
was
but-
happy to do that. That's a different situation.
That's
That's not the situation I'm talking about at all.
No.
So, but Scott Allen is out there, and he's talking about this. He does a lot of stuff like this too. He's in that same trap I get caught in sometimes. You don't want to turn people down.
Yeah, you know what you do,
And-
Scotty? Why don't you talk to my wife and see what she says?
Yeah.
I
Here.
bet you every one of those butt monkeys will run scared with their tail between their legs and go find some other dumbass to do shit for free.
So if you want a free logo, who are you going to talk to? Me or her? So there you go.
I'll tell
Give him your
business.
spiel. I'm going to go warm up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Spiel? I got no spiel.
Yeah, you go off on it. Hey, Rainey, I'm taking on this big book job for free.
Oh my God.
What do you have to say?
What do I have to say? There better be sexual pleasure involved in that for free. And I get to videotape. And then I'm selling it online for money. Money will exchange hands somehow. Oh God, that irritates me. Now I'm pissy. I was starting my day off somewhat decent, and now I'm mad. Now I'm pissed off. My day is going to be shitty the rest of the day. I'm going to nag everybody. It's going to be freaking great. Jeebus. Can you put her down? Oh my God. Lucy wants to say hi, everybody. Say hi, Lucy. This is Stinky, and she is Stinky. When I get kisses.
And our puppy.
Can we put her down, though? Because she really does stink. She smells like she was in the cat box. Pretty sure she was in the cat box because I heard somebody in the cat box. And then I realized the cat was walking past me and the cat box was still moving. So somebody was eating Tootsie Rolls. Stupid dog.
I can keep a secret, Kay.
Do you have something you want to say this morning?
Hi.
Hi. How did you sleep last night?
Good.
Ask them, how'd you sleep last night?
Good.
No, you ask everybody out there. Say, how'd you sleep last night?
Good.
Oh my God. Go away.
Good.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I saw a shot of tequila up there. Yeah, I was gonna say there's the blackberry stuff back here too. That's blackberry moonshine.
What does that say?
That says we'll give credit. We'll give you credit. What the fuck? Like what was an option? Of course you give me credit. That's right. Okay, are we good? How do we take that off? Go away. I'm crabby. Let me be crabby with people, with adults.
Good.
Want to clean the cat box?
No.
Oh, we got another word out of you. Uncle Dave says good morning.
Good.
Susie Q says hi.
Good.
Sean Bowden says he slept terrible.
Bad.
Yeah, that is bad, huh? You want to ask him if he had a bad dream or something?
No.
No. Yes. Scotty's up there
Good.
holding stuff down.
Good.
Ellie's entertaining everybody by saying good and
Good.
good.
Okay. I'm here with my overfull cup of coffee. Watch it. I'm banging my chair into my mic.
You're actually hurting
Child,
me.
let go of the chair.
Oh, did I hurt you?
Okay. I got an overfull cup of hot
Okay,
coffee.
did you hear
here.
that?
Yeah.
We're done messing. We're done messing.
Then take a sip out of it.
Okay, let Mom have her chair back. All right. Well, I hope whatever happened here while I was gone was entertaining.
I yelled for a second, and then Ellie came in and said, good.
Good.
Good. Not good. Good.
Good.
Mama.
All right.
Don't. Jesus Christ.
Okay, out.
Kids.
Out now. That's enough. Okay.
I love you too, but it's mommy time. Mommy time.
We're on the radio here, sweetheart. So you can get mommy time when we're done. See ya.
Sure.
Bye. It's not that I don't love my children and having them around. It's that after a while you get tired of saying the same thing. Hey, when we're doing radio, you gotta quiet down, back off a little bit.
Oh, listen to that.
Now it's a thing of discipline.
Did you hear that?
I did. What are you drinking?
Nitro Pepsi.
Nitro Pepsi.
Nitro Pepsi.
Wow, what's it taste like?
Cola. Tastes like. It smells like ass.
Smells like ass. Ooh, give me some. It smells like ass. Taste it. It's like, no, you just told me it tastes like ass. So.
It doesn't. Send Abby a message and ask her if she wants to talk first.
Send her a message, yeah.
It's like flat Pepsi. It's disgusting.
Dave Potter says, we'll give you credit? What the fuck? Like that was an option? Of course you'll give me credit. It's my right. If I do your cover, of course I'll get credit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I tell people. They'll go, we'll give you credit on the cover. It's like, you give me credit anyway. Oh.
Taste that.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's got like a smooth, almost like a Pepsi that's been sitting out for a day and put back in the fridge. There's no bubbles in it. Oh. Are you liking the bubbles?
That was my last Pepsi. Some asshat of a kid took my last Pepsi yesterday.
Nice. There's none left over there? Oh, no. There's the empty box. Yeah, but yeah, credit on a book, Dave Potter says. It's like you automatically get that credit anyway. Maybe not on the cover, but on the inside, on the legal page. Cover designed by this artist. And a website or something. And so
no E.
It's like this. Let me show you something.
Yeah, it's like this.
I'm gonna share my screen with you.
I'm gonna go wake up Flynn and give him this gross Pepsi.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
What a lucky kid.
Right?
I'm gonna share my screen. Boom and boom. Now you should see my screen. Look at that. That's cool. Get lost in that for a minute. I go over here to like right here. This is a book I designed for this client of mine. She had cancer, and it's her book. She's a magician. She's New York. She talks like that in New York. And this is her new book that's out. And I was designing this, but all I did was design the layout of the book. You can see here. You go, this isn't the book cover. This is the inside title page. And it's just like, it's like a novel. There's, you're looking at 2-page spreads here. Here, if I go into preview mode, view screen mode would be preview. There, it'll get rid of all the extra superfluous junk. Let's make it fit into the window. Here, like that. Okay. So this is what I do. I design the headers and the footers and all this. And then the whole flow of the book, you can see here, going through the whole book. There's no pictures or anything. It's just flowing the book and making it work. So, but I designed her cover, which looks like, well, let's see. I think we have it over here even on Amazon. Let's see. Print previewer. Okay, now it's a little fuzzy because it's just a preview, but that's the front, spine, and back cover of her book. And so that's how the book looks. That's the cover, and this is the proof over at Kindle, where she's having it manufactured. Not a dime. It doesn't cost her a dime to manufacture that. But you hope there's a Pepsi in the car. But see, then you go over here to what I created. Now, here's what the legal pages look like. You go inside, blank page after the title page. Then there's the inner title page there. And then here on the back side of that, across from the table of contents, this is your legal page. This is in every book. Should have a legal page. And what has she got here? Her copyright on the story. No part of this can be reproduced. Her ISBN number. She's publishing herself. There's no publisher there. There's usually a publisher logo. She's got listed here, cover and interior layout by Scotty Roberts. ScottAllenRoberts.com, printed in the United States of America, blah, blah, blah. So that type of thing, even on the Sword and the Clay, this book, here's the layout. In InDesign is the program I use to lay out my book. Screen mode preview. So here's the Sword and the Clay. You see, as I scroll back through this book, it's all laid out here in this program. But you go all the way up to the very beginning of all this. Here's the inside title page. And then it's blank on the back side of that. Then the inner title page. And right there is the legal page. And you can see how that's laid out. Same thing. I own the copyright, while the publisher holds the copyright to publish it in this hardback form. And it's Manitou Free Traders Press, their logo. And I've got listed in here, historical and technical consultant Ryan Gale, and cover design and illustrations by Scotty Roberts. If it was somebody else, it was Dave Potter doing them, it would have Dave Potter's name there. So all that to say, being pedantic, making my point, is that that's the way it works anyway. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That just made Rainy queasy. So, me too. I've been off kilter a lot lately. So that's how it works. If you're designing a book cover, Scott Allen or anybody else out there that does it, and they go and somebody says, "I'll give you credit," you go, "You have to give me credit anyway." That's part of the process. Now the question is, what are you going to pay me? Can you pay me $50? Can you pay me $5,000? And so, yada yada. There it goes. That's my pet story for right now. Now, like my friend Andy Dabbs, when he has me come up, and we've gone up as a family, he says, "I'll put you up at the house." He puts us up at a hotel. When we had the whole family, he pays for that. And then he pays me very well for the work I do. He's never once asked me, "Can you do this for free?" Because he understands the value of it. And I think most authors out there that want to publish books, that they want to publish their kid's book or something, and they want to find an illustrator, they want an illustrator to do them for, "Oh, you charge money?" Yeah, that's how I make a living. How do you think you can find me as an illustrator? Because I'm an illustrator who has a reputation, and that's what I do for a living.
Yeah, I'd like to see them publish their books and give them away for free.
Yeah. Are you going to give your book away for free? Well, you better pay me then, because I'm not going to make anything off of it. And then, then you have your publishers who will say, well, publishers kind of do that. They go, "Yeah, we'll publish your book and we won't pay you anything, but you'll make money if your book sells." That's kind of the same kind of deal. But even my small publisher, New Page Books, when they had me do the Nephilim book and the Reptilians book and the Exodus book, they paid me an advance every time. Wasn't a big one. It was a few $1,000s, but that was better than a sharp stick in the eye. And then I make royalties off of them. So I've done pretty well with a couple of those books off of there. So anyway, if I ranted enough about that, I thought it was interesting to get Rainy in here and to get her take as a wife who watches me at times have good friends or clients ask for free art. And it's like, if you come to me and I know that you're making decent money, you make a good living, you're forging your way very well, and you ask me to do a free logo for you, sometimes it's like, really? You can't afford a logo?
Yeah, okay, you can give me your car for free. Fucktard.
Now, like Doug Stack, if I lived close and I needed tires, I could work a trade with Doug Stack. "Hey, give me some new tires or new used tires and I'll do a logo for you." That kind of stuff works. I have situations where I do trade work with people. That's kind of nice sometimes. All depends on what you're trading for.
You can.
So
He won't bite you or anything if you go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, we have one of the kids that's spending the night and wondering if he can. The cat is standing in the way. I'm using the bathroom. What if it's a really nice sharp stick? Says Dave Potter. Well, hand carved, hand whittled. None of that machine stuff. So, Matt Finn says, "Have a great day, sweetest." Who's taking off? That's Susie Q taking off. Oh, it keeps scrolling. Gotta bounce. Favor and love to you all. See you, Susie Q. Have a good day. What time is it here? It's 10:40. Yeah, we'll go a few more minutes here. We'll go to 11. We usually go a couple hours on Sunday. And hi, Barefoot. See, I can touch my wife's bare feet, and even that'll give me a boner. Oh, did I say that on air? Nah, that just touching my wife's skin will do that to me. Even though she looks like a wreck this morning. And I say that affectionately. She would say that. She just had a couple of days just being dragged out. And she's tired. She didn't have to get purdied up for anybody.
I still have places to go today.
But she's got places to go. So she'll be up. She'll get showered. She'll do her hair. She'll do her makeup and dress hot.
I gotta go pick up cleats and a softball bag, and then I gotta go take Rowan to pitcher practice.
There you go. And for dressing hot for Rainy, t-shirt and jeans. Boom. She's hot. She'll walk by after dressed all frumpy in her frumpy sweats in the morning and stuff like that. And she goes and puts on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and she walks by and is like, holy crap. Do I let you go out in public like that?
That's pretty much just you, right?
That's pretty much the world.
Everybody feels that way.
Everybody feels that way.
Maybe for their wife.
Hey, Max Vision, remote viewing class. Good to see you. So, yeah, my wife's hot. She doesn't like me saying so, but she is. Hey, Project Sky Falls. There you go. Hi, Max V. So, see, Dave, are you out or is somebody else out? Oh, Susie Q is out. Okay. And we already established that. So, yeah. But like I say, when you love somebody, even if you don't, I suppose it still works. It's chemical reaction, they say. But I go down here and I reach and I can see my wife's barefoot. And I touch my wife's barefoot and her bare ankle. And it's like, oh man, that's sexy. She got sexy feet. She used to wear rings on her toes. Did you take the ring off of here, by the way? The ring set? Somebody else did. That's what happens. I had one of your old toe rings was sitting on here. Somebody took that. So who's taking the rings off of the keyboard over here? Nobody will answer me. So that's probably the one that took it. So.
No, probably wrong.
Hey, Johan, how you doing? Good to see you. Project or project? Dave says, I was burnt out over the last couple of days with Grand Lodge happening. And last night on my way home, stopped to work on the mural for a few hours before finishing my way home. I do that too. Sometimes I am dog tired and I want to get to bed and I'll find myself, I'll look at something on my screen that I hadn't finished or something sitting in front. I should work on that a little bit. Next thing you know, it's 3 hours later. Your trees are looking pretty good there, Uncle Dave, by the way. Saw your post on that. I'd like to paint a mural project right now. That would be kind of fun. I'd like to do one like the graphic we did for like the cover of The Mists of Avalon. I still have that up on my Facebook over here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's find it here. Open recent. I'll show you. Stuff like this. Okay.
Come cook for me. You can have cereal. It's on top of the fridge. Okay. There should be milk. Okay.
All right. Here, I'm going to share my screen again. Share screen. Now, this isn't my artwork. It's somebody else's artwork. But look at this. I would love to paint a mural. It doesn't have to be necessarily that particular character and the sword and the horse, but the overall feel of that. Look at the trees and the mist and the way it's put together and the weeds and stuff like that. That's I'd love to do a wall mural like that. And you sometimes get in the hankering, get in the mood to do stuff like that. So one of these days, I'll do another mural. Stop screen. There you go. Grumpy Stack says Rainey is domestic violent head of the Roberts clan. She's the domestic violent head of the Roberts clan. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Very violent.
I'd like to dress her up in ancient woman armor and put all kinds of little braids in her hair and sword in her hand and show off her muscles and her cleavage and her battle cleavage armor. You know how all the fantasy paintings are. All ancient women warriors, they all went to battle in armor that showed off their ample cleavage and midriffs, because they were protected over the nipple, the important spot. Everything else was wide open to somebody else's blade. Mm-hmm. So, Rainey, the warrior princess, says Matt Finn.
Put it on my desk.
Rainey, the warrior princess.
That's
Matt
me.
Finn.
That's me.
That's you.
I'm not a princess. I'm a freaking queen, jerk turd.
She's a freaking queen, asshole, she says. Off with his head.
Yeah, I said jerk turd. Don't put words in my
Yeah,
mouth.
don't put words in my mouth. Are you, what's that say? Are you taking fantasy? Are you talking fantasy or are you talking painting now? They kind of merge with my wife. Sometimes I like to paint pictures on my wife. That's always fun. Hey, honey, come and help me paint a picture on you. Mm-hmm. Gross, she says, gross. See, the show always do we devolve into sex talk or does it evolve into sex talk? I don't know.
Both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So, Grumpy Stack. The nipple is the only way to kill the warrior queen. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So she keeps those covered. She's got like iron caps over them. Bronze pasties to protect the warrior queen nipple. You got a story going there, Doug. Who needs enemies with friends? I was going for youthful, but there you go. Says Matt Finn. And
I'm reading about the fireball last night.
Oh. So we had a friend come over the other day. I don't want to name her, and hopefully you're not listening, but if you are, I say this in all true admiration.
Scotty enjoyed your cleavage.
I enjoyed her cleavage. Rainey was over there at her desk, and she was sitting here in this chair, but Rainey's sitting down on her butt. She was sitting kind of up on her knees on this chair, cross-legged a little bit, and she's way up here. And we're working on some project, transferring some files for her. And she had some breast work done.
A mommy makeover.
A mommy makeover, she called it.
That's what they're
And she was always a hot little blonde, but she had that done. And she works out and she's got abs, and so she's sitting here in a midriff tank top, string tank top. I don't remember if she had a bra on for as much as I stole glances. You're looking, you kind of look and you go, oh, I'm not supposed to be looking at that. And why Rainey's right over there at her desk. We're all talking and joking around and stuff. But she had a little short sweater on over it that was kind of draped off.
I'll state and say she does have really nice boobies, really nice
Oh my God.
cleavage. I was a little like, ooh.
Yeah.
It was a nice set.
And so, but she would sit here and her side would be to me. She's talking to Rainey and she kept doing this, putting the chest, arching her back and rubbing her lower back. And there was the thing came down and the side boob was extraordinary. And I was like, I'm averting my eyes, oh Lord, and it's like there was a moral to this story somewhere in there. I don't know what it was anymore. I get lost in the boob talk, but and she was not flaunting. If she was flaunting, she hid that well. It was just natural, the natural movements and the arching and the stuff like that. And I'm like, wow. But there was a reason I'm telling this story about that. And I can't say her name. I'm not going to say her name. What?
I said boobs.
Boobs. That was it. That was the reason. If you're listening, and you know who you are, if you're listening, you're welcome back over. You left your disc here, so you're gonna have to come and get it. I got your chair right here.
Wear a nice cleavage shirt again, please.
Wear a nice cleavage shirt again, please.
Scotty enjoyed the scenery.
And yeah, that was fun. And I think she probably knew I was noticing and that Rainey noticed. I don't think she had any problem with that. And she talked about it. She was talking about it. So I think I complimented her. I said, it's very nice. We knew her before she had the augmentation done. And lift. And and I've never been one that I'm not particularly drawn to what you would classify as fake boobs. It doesn't particularly draw me in. I would think that they would be not as supple, not as comfortable on the chin, or wrapped around my face.
You can try someday if you want.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm sure she'd let you.
Oh, with her. I thought you meant with you.
I don't have fake boobs. You can't try.
Well, I'll send her an invite. There you go.
I don't have the lift.
Just for science. It's for science. I'm doing research. What? No,
you
what?
Don't know nothing.
You have no idea what we're talking about. Oh, she knew. Dave said, yeah, she knows. So Dave knows who she is. Yeah, she knows. But the thing is, she's not ostentatious about it. She's not deliberately going out of her way. She's a friend of ours. So I've known her for years. So anyway, it's always fun to I liked and shared, though. Not sure what that was. Leslie Holker said, good morning, Scotty and Raini. I'm so bummed I missed the show. We're making more syrup today. Nice. Do you sell syrup? I love homemade syrup. Do you go tap trees on your own property? That kind of a thing?
Oh my God, you are needy. Can you go away?
Oh, the cat. Yeah, the cat. The cat just wants to be fed again. So there's a moral to this story. There was a moral to this story. Nah, there's no morals in that story. Boobs. Yeah, there it is, Max.
Boobs.
We're guys. That's what boobs do to us. They're magical things. What's that?
I said that doesn't bother me. I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with who I am.
How do you think Rainey won my attentions first? Boobs. Well, with her, it was boobs. It was hair. It was her eyes. She's got those ice blue eyes. And the Rainey was the whole package. And just amazing. And
suck up.
nah, it's not even sucking up. You want to see me? You want to see me? With a whole package. No, I'm serious.
Go away. I don't want to pet you. I don't want to
Go
be
away,
itchy.
smelly cat.
I'm already itchy from pet.
So, no, I'm serious about that with Rainey. It was everything. It was so we were relating to somebody that ghost story about her coming over to the house during the storm when all the power knocked her house out. She came.
Neighbor, I gotta say it. The neighbor lady came over. Her dog attacked Scotty.
Oh yeah, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago.
Not like bad, but bad. And she came over to check.
Big chocolate lap got off his cable and came over and started biting me.
Yeah.
Jumping me, bit my arm, and he didn't bite through. I had this sweater on, and the sleeves were down, and he grabbed a hold, and I shook him free, and he put a scratch on my leg without ripping the pant leg, but he put a scratch on it from nails, and
she finally came over to say she was sorry and
yeah.
see if Scotty was okay. Anyways, it was fun. We sat out.
Yeah,
and
we had a
talked
good
for
time.
Hours
last night. Yeah. And when the dog, by the way, when the dog attacked me, I've always learned you don't let them intimidate you. You try to intimidate them. If a dog latched onto my arm, you don't try to pull your arm out of his mouth. You try to shove your arm further into his mouth because they can't clamp down on you. Stuff like that. But it's hard when they're just frenetic if they're going at you. And I would stomp my foot at him, and I'd go toward him, and I go, "You go home."
Well,
I said to him,
she told us last night too. He doesn't like when you wave his arms.
He says, "You wave your arms." He gets all
and
pissy.
Scotty was waving his arms at the dogs. Like,
I'm like, "Get out of here! Go home!" I said.
Go, dumbass.
I said, "Go home." I'm not a dumbass. I didn't know our
No,
dog.
the dog.
Oh, the dog, yeah. But and there would, if she hadn't been right on his tail to get him, and that dog kept attacking me, I would have had to use more dramatic measures. And there's things you have to do. If you let a dog just bite you, that dog's going to win. You have to have a certain mentality that you take on. Dave knows this is just the mentality of fighting, even sword fighting. If you're totally compromised, you become totally compromised when you let the opponent know that you are afraid of them. And so I treated the dog like I wasn't afraid, but she happened to be right there. She got him. And she and I were I said, "I'm okay. Don't worry about it. I understand." And the dog was still growling. I said, "You go home. You go home," I said. And so she took him home. But she came over last night. I think she was a little embarrassed by it. But we hadn't had a chance to talk. So she came over and was talking to Rainey, who was outside.
Right. It was fun. We had a lot of fun chit-chatting. I think she had to stay out there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, she stood out on the driveway and talked for 3 hours last night with us and neighbors. And
then more people came over, and more people came over, and then it was finally like, fuck, I gotta go in, I'm cold.
Mom and one of the kids was over, or two of the kids had spent the night here last night.
Jamie.
With our kids.
Yeah. Jamie. It was Jamie. Got Jamie's kids here. She also told me.
Very rude dog, Philip Blair.
She also told me last night, she's like, if anything ever happens to me, I want you to take my kids.
Oh, Jamie said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, okay.
Sign right here, please.
I said, write that up. You gotta write it up so people know.
Well, then put us in your will.
Right. Oh, your money.
So, yeah, if I asked somebody to take my kids and I had a will,
right,
I'd probably say, if we both died, you get the bulk of our estate for taking our kids. Probably all of our estate.
Not to be like, she doesn't really have much, but
neither do we.
But she likes me, and that's all.
I have swords and comic books. Yeah, she likes Rainey. That's pretty cool.
And she would like her kids to stay in the district, so she's like, you could take them.
Well, what if we moved?
Right, then we can't move ever.
So anyway, yeah, I would not wish that either of us, that harm would come to either of us, but
you never know. Well, that's why I told her. I said, you have to. I said, if you really feel that way, I said, you better write it up so your family knows. Because I'm not getting in the drama of a fight.
Yeah.
Especially after all the shit with my grandma.
And I think there are legal things you can't, if there's a living parent can you will your kids to somebody else? I don't think you can. I think, don't legal parents have first right? Is it a legal thing?
I don't know in all those situations. She's got some different situations.
Like if Rainey and I were divorced ever and she died, would the kids automatically come to me? Or can she will them to somebody else, or vice versa? And hopefully we'll never be divorced. I always say hopefully because, you know, it's you never know what's going to happen nowadays in nowadays world, but it's different rules than we used to play by 1,000 years ago. Thank God. But I would hope that never happens to us, that we're never in that situation, that there's never anything that's too great a problem for us to work out as people. And so, and our kids certainly deserve us to work at things. That's a pet peeve of mine. I think Rainey shares that same. We don't really talk about it. Say, now, do you share this point in the letter of the law with me? No, I think she shares the idea that if we have problems, our kids deserve to have us work those problems out. So that's because what did I hear once somebody say a long time ago? It's in my ministry days, but when you become a parent, you sacrifice your right to be an individual. Now, qualify that statement. Doesn't mean you're not an individual in your creative pursuits and your work pursuits, and you have yourself to take care of. But when you are married and you have kids, your primary responsibility is to yourself and is to each other and to your children. So you sacrifice, you give up your right to be an individual who is seeking only their own path when you become a parent. So what happens when you're not a parent anymore? What if those children grow up? Then what do? You're both too old to do anything else. So
you are driving me nuts. Can you see that? That's dumb kitty. That's dumb cat.
This is the cat. She just took that right now. That's the black cat. Fat cat. Oscar. I'm trying to get it so the light's not reflecting on it. There he is. Sitting down there at her feet.
He keeps pushing up on me, and
he keeps pushing. He's pushing.
Fur is for in my nose already.
I hear you, Delaney.
He's gonna go rub his face on some bookshelves, and then he's gonna come back and try to make me touch them.
Yes, sir, your kids, but Amy had me listed in her will that I would become guardian, but Tom would still have parental access. Yeah, well, he's the dad. He has parental access. So there you go. Matt Finn says, I've heard this said many times for the kids. Unfortunately, most of the time, this result is a toxic home environment. And sometimes it's better to end the relationship. I agree with you. The problem when you have that toxic home environment, though, is people who do not put their selfishness aside for their kids. It's toxic because they don't fix anything. There's no problem that is not.
Mad.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad. Just emphatic. I don't think there's any problem that two adults cannot fix unless they don't want to fix it.
Right.
That's the only hindrance, the only hurdle, the only thing that creates, I believe, Matt Finn, a toxic environment is somebody not desiring to make it a non-toxic environment. That's all it takes. It takes mindset. Well, what's the mindset we're in our nation nowadays, our society? Well, if Rainey and I broke up, she'd have 20 guys knocking on her door in 3 days. That's the way our society works. Me, I'm getting older, but I can tell you what, I'd have
ladies knocking on his door.
I'd have ladies knocking on my door too. I mean, there are, and I don't say that in any braggadocious way. I'm just saying that's the way our society works. So what happens when we divide up or stay together for the sake of the kids? If that is our sole reason for staying together for the sake of my kids, yeah, it's going to keep deteriorating and you're going to raise rotten kids because it's going to be a bad situation. I see James is over there calling in. I don't think James is a real person because I see him out here in the wings of the calls. He's already talking. His arms are going all over. So he's just a troll. So I'm going to remove him. I'm not even going to bring him in. James, if you're in the chat room, yeah, that was a troll because it turned off. James, if you're in the chat room, just state who you are and come on back over and I'll put you on. So, yeah, that was a troll because down in his little window, you see him, he's already talking, which means it's a pre-recorded thing. So, so for the better of the relationship, the only way that's for the better of the relationship, I believe, Matt Finn, and I'm not countering your point, just talking with you about it. I believe the only time adults can't work out their situation is when they don't want to. Because the sky's the limit. There's 100 other fish in the sea, 1,000 other fish in the sea. And their mind already goes somewhere. I can get what I want over there. I can find somebody better. I'll find somebody better than you. I'll find somebody who likes me more than you like me.
Where's your phone?
And it's right here in my pocket. Oh, that's the New York call. If you would, for me, just text her. You can go right. I can do it right here, folks. Hold on. She's not listening to me, to the radio show.
Yeah, I'm not
so
listening to you.
I'll tell her we got the
Everybody
show.
get your phones. You got 30 seconds to check your stuff.
Yeah, check your stuff. I'm just going to send her a quick message
Right?
that when I wrap up this show, that I will.
Did anybody see the
There it
fireball in the sky last night about 8:30 p.m.?
No, I didn't even
Didn't.
see that.
Well, we were still all outside talking, but we have an airport nearby. And I saw this light coming and it got closer and closer and closer. I thought it was a plane before I looked, and then I realized it kind of did the and broke into pieces, but it was pretty cool. But lots of people saw it last night. I guess it was pretty big over by Chicago? Big side of Wisconsin. The other side of Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. You could see it from Chicago?
Chicago down in Iowa. That's
what caused the fireball? I was typing.
It was a meteor.
Oh, a meteor. Oh. Good thing it wasn't a comet that would wipe out all dinosaur life on the planet.
At least we were having fun if it would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Chit-chatting with the neighbors.
That's right. Matt Finn says, the hole in my argument. Let's see what he says. Hole in your argument is it's already a failing relationship at that point. Do people really understand how to make such drastic change in personality? No, they don't. That's the problem, I think. And that's where, Matt, we say, like, in all this other thinking we do, when we talk about religious thinking or political thinking or social interactive thinking, that's why we talk about being awake and being aware. It takes being awake and elevating yourself out of, are we just like, see, I like to think of it in these terms. Am I just like everybody else? I can leave my wife because, we didn't get along about that thing, and it's degraded because, we'll never get along because of this or that or the other thing. But I can just go somewhere else. I'll find that somewhere else. So I'll leave my relationship. That's the mentality we have in our society. Our culture, if you will, has become that. We have become less a culture that is one that, let's think about what we're doing. Let's look at the bigger picture. We don't do that. Most people that I know who have problems in their relationship are just people who don't want to fix the problem. I got this problem. We've had it for years. And I don't want to fix it. I'm tired of fixing it. When somebody says they're tired of fixing it, did they ever really fix it? Did they ever really work at it? Because you know what? Throwing out demands to somebody doesn't fix a problem. Fixing a problem requires two people to figure it out. You loved each other once. Why don't you love them now? Because they picked their toenails. And I told them, please don't do that on the sofa. And I've been telling them for years, and now I'm over it. or whatever it might be. It could be financial, it could be sexual, it could be all different kinds of things for different people. And so you have to figure out, am I going to figure this out or not?
I'm interrupting.
What do you got?
Leslie, this is the dude.
Anyone spot a fireball?
Go to Driftless Stargazing LLC. Let's see, what's the best way to see that right there?
Driftless
Stargazing LLC. You can find him on Facebook, and he posts.
You're kind of pretty up close.
Am I?
Look at those eyes.
No
Look right
makeup.
into the green dot. Look at those eyes. Those are the eyes I saw that attracted me.
Like that crazy hair. I haven't brushed my hair or my teeth. With my eyes. I see my eye closer.
Sneer into the
I
camera.
see my eye closer.
Yeah. You got cleavage.
Oh. Gosh.
You need to unzip that hoodie more.
No. But anyways, Leslie, go to Driftless Stargazing LLC. You find him on Facebook. He posts all kinds of cool stuff. He does that. He'll post when to see the satellites, all the satellites.
Yeah.
What the heck? Elon Musk satellites.
Yeah, the big line. I've seen those, the string of Elon Musk satellites.
He'll post when they're coming and when you might be able to catch them and where to catch them. And he posts all about meteor showers. And
Leslie says, when Andy and I got married, we had 7 children between us. We had 6.
No.
So close.
No. Not when we got married. We just had your 3.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. When we got married, we made 3 more.
We've never had more than 4 kids in a house.
Yoo-hoo! I did my little cowboy lasso dance for her. She was like,
when Flynn came along and the girls
I'll ride that
moved out
pony.
shortly after because they were 18 and wanted to experience life for themselves.
That's right.
And then shortly after we had Ellie, then Sam moved to his mom's.
And then Leslie says, but we loved each other and it was worth it. And I think, people say, oh, I'll check it out. Sorry, I clicked on that. I think Rainy is now. Here's this guy trying to call in again under somebody else. It says, I don't know what it says. It's backwards.
Ew. It's sex
that
stuff.
sex?
Yeah, it says
Oh,
anal,
it's sex stuff.
Anal sex 1, 2, 3.
They're showing anal sex site. There's a little miniature window when you call in, and it's showing that stuff. So somebody's calling into the show. Anal sex is at the beginning of their moniker.
Okay, turn it off.
It's only about that big.
It doesn't need to be in my thing. Ban them.
Yeah, I was just seeing what it was. Banned from studio. There you go.
All guests are now required to authenticate.
Oh, no. Why did it do that?
I don't know, because you didn't
Oh,
read it.
guests into the studio. When I ban someone, now somebody's banned. If you call into the show, you're going to be asked by YouTube to authenticate who you are. So
Yes, you better be.
there you go. So you got to be real. So that was a sex site that came up there. People are dumb. You think I'm just going to call you into the show when it's showing anal sex in the thing? Idiots. And why do people do that? It's like when I put up a post and I'm talking about my book, or I've got a post up about my kid's birthday or something, and sometimes even people I know, they put up ads for their stuff. I'm selling makeup, or I'm doing, and I'm like, don't do that on my post. Why would you do that there? Or selling somebody else's. Somebody did that once, advertising a book that I did the layout on for somebody else, advertising that in one of my posts, and I'm like, I kicked their ad, and I said, I don't mind sharing this, but don't put it up in a line of posts that have nothing to do with that book or that topic. Even it's a totally different topic. And I tell them, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Just come and ask me, or come and post separately, a totally separate post,
Right.
and I'll okay it. Yeah, that's right. There you go. She's my yes man today. Yeah, what he said.
Oh my God, go away.
Lucy,
Now
what?
the dog's trying to hump my leg.
So Lucy wants to be fed, or she wants to go outside?
She's trying to hump my leg.
What's your deal? Huh?
My mom needs her leg humped.
Come on up here. Come here.
I'm gonna hump
Come
it.
here. Come on.
What?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, fatty. Oh my God. There, that's Lucy. There she is.
This morning.
You trying to hump mom? Arr. Wow. We can get her going. Ow, don't put your paw in my face. What are you doing? Ah, I'm so vicious. Oh, I'm vicious. Ah. Look at that vicious dog.
You're gonna bite. Is he
That's
gonna bite?
Lucy Fur.
Robert.
You gonna bite? Gonna bite? Gonna bite? Gonna bite? Don't poke at her. Arr, 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 arr. Get that mom. Get her finger. Bite her. Yeah.
She doesn't do it for you. She only likes to bite my finger.
Well, she respects me.
No, Allie's sticking her finger in.
She's gonna bite your face.
Lucy only growls at my finger.
What? What are you doing with your open mouth and your growling and your jowling? Get down. There you go. That's Lucy. So, all right. Good morning, Miss Ellery, says Leslie.
Good.
Good morning.
Good.
So, what else we got?
Hey, can we do what we did yesterday?
What was this?
Yesterday.
In Kecksburg, America. I don't know what that is. People saw a craft shaped like an acorn with writings they could decipher. The U.S. government came, covered it, and rolled off into the sunset with it. Kecksburg, I'm not sure where that is. Where in America was Kecksburg? But there's a lot of sightings like that. A lot of old things from the 40s and the 50s, 60s. The government comes in, covers it up.
Pushy kid.
So, Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's hard to spell. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stories, old stories. Some of you don't even know what to believe anymore with those, but there's a lot of stories about that stuff. Same with the Bigfoots. There's so much evidence out there, even though it's partial evidence, that how can one deny that there's something there? All the different firsthand accounts and so on. Same with UFOs. Leave us alone, Jimmy. That's what Elderberry says. I agree. Matt Finn, have a beautiful week. See you, Matt Finn. You must be out. Brunch time, friends. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night, Master Finn. We need a brunch to go to.
Knock it off!
Hey, stop. Rowan's room on the other side of the wall. I don't know if you saw the picture moving. We're banging on the wall back there. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Wait, the kids and I saw a triangular-shaped craft over us one Halloween with a bright stadium light on each corner. It hovered, then swoosh, it was gone. And the big question is, are those alien craft? Are those our own experimental crafts? We don't know. So, all right, guys, guess what? I'm going to get out of here. Chestnut Ridge, Pennsylvania is a busy area. This is Philip Blair. We should cover that. We should talk about that stuff. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here tomorrow night. Remember, 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to pick up with the Morgaine story from Avalon. And for a little bit anyway, maybe finish it off tomorrow night. We'll see. And then we'll get into some other stuff. I got to get some guests lined up. We've been going almost, I think we're entering our 4th week of the redo of the show. And so I've got some guests that would like to come on. We'll do some interviews coming up with some people. And I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I think it'll be dumb.
I think you're one of my interviews.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
As long as you show cleavage.
No.
What's wrong with cleavage?
I don't want to show my cleavage.
She wore cleavage shirts all the time.
Show your manto.
My manto?
Yeah. When you wear really tight jeans and...
Oh, yeah. My really tight jeans with my manto.
Stick your bubble junk out. See how you
I do sometimes.
On purpose.
I say, hey, Rainy, look at that. And she'll go, uh-huh. I never go, when you wear cleavage, I never go, uh-huh.
Show me your cleavage.
Show me your cleavage is usually my.
Oh my god.
There it is. So everybody have a great day. That's an auspicious note on which we are exiting for the day. Thank you, Leslie Holker. Yes, go to theswordintheclay.com. Get your book. They're in production now, so we should see them in a few weeks. So everybody go order your book, and so we can impress our publisher. And we're also going to distribute the things, so we're going to look into a book distribution, get it into bookstores and stuff like that as well. So, and that takes some time. Books and stuff. All right, guys, you have a good day, the good rest of your Sunday. We're gonna just chill today.
Shit, whatever. I gotta pick up softball shoes and go to pitcher practice.
I see you do have something today.
Yeah.
She's got to go to pitcher practice with Ro and pick up cleats for her for softball.
$10 cleats versus brand new ones for $70.
And so Rennie used to do fast softball, fast pitch. And so she's working with Ro on that. So Matthew Sainsbury says bye to everybody. Scott Allen, Leslie Holker, get an autographed one too, worth every penny. Thank you, Leslie. Have everybody what?
I said have fun with the syrup.
Have fun with the syrup, yeah. Save us some. We'll buy some syrup from you.
Heck yeah.
So we use syrup here.
The real syrup, not the junk kind.
Yeah, real syrup. Philip Blair, special guest, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? I would like to get him to read Tam O'Hare in an audiobook. Since he's retired from acting now, maybe it'd be easier to get him. I don't know. He's worth millions. Maybe we can get him for cheap. Now pull this leg and it'll play Jingle Bells.
Do this work for free.
You can do this work for free. I'll give you credit on the cover. All right, guys, you have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow night. Live long and prosper and all that good junk.